Hi guys, this is O-Level Chemistry, paper 12, November 2017, question 21. Magnesium reacts with dilute sulfuric acid. Two experiments were carried out. Experiment 1 had 24 grams of magnesium reacting with 100 cm cube of 1 mole per dm cube sulfuric acid, and experiment 2 had 24 grams of magnesium reacting with 50 cm cube of 2 mole per dm cube sulfuric acid. So in the first case, the volume was 100, but the concentration was 1. And in the second case, the volume was 50, but the concentration was 2. So this shows that in both the experiments, the moles of sulfuric acid used were exactly the same. Okay, in each experiment, the volume of hydrogen was measured at various times. The results were plotted on a graph. Which graph is correct? Okay, so since the amount of magnesium and the moles of sulfuric acid used are the same in both experiments, the volume of hydrogen gas produced would be the same. So options A and B have the same volume of hydrogen being produced in both experiments, while C and D do not, eliminating options C and D. Now, options A and B has experiment 2 positioned differently. In A, the dotted line representing experiment 2 shows that the reaction is taking place more quickly and the hydrogen gas is being produced in a lesser time, but the total volume of hydrogen gas remains the same. In B, the dotted line is below the solid line, showing that the reaction is taking place relatively slowly than experiment 1, and it takes a longer time for hydrogen gas to be produced. Now, this depends on the concentration of sulfuric acid used, because if the lower concentration is used, the lower of the two, then the hydrogen gas would be produced more slowly. And if we are considering the higher concentration, then the hydrogen gas will be produced more quickly. However, since the moles of sulfuric acid are the same, the volume of hydrogen produced will remain the same. So in experiment 2, the concentration is 2 mole per dm cube compared to experiment 1, where the concentration is 1 mole per dm cube. Therefore, experiment 2 must be more quicker than experiment 1, showing that option A is the correct option for this question. Question 22. Which statement is correct for both aluminum and iron? Both form two positive ions? No. Aluminum forms a three positive ion, whereas iron forms a two positive as well as a three positive ion. Both have amphoteric oxides. Aluminum has an amphoteric oxide, iron does not. The manufacture of both metals involve reduction of the metal ions. Yes, Al3 positive will accept 3 moles of electrons producing Al metal, and Fe, whichever one you take, will accept electrons to form iron metal. So in all of these reactions, reduction is taking place, reduction of the metal ions. And next, they are both normally manufactured by electrolysis. No, aluminum is manufactured by electrolysis, whereas iron is produced by reduction of hematite with carbon monoxide. So they're not both produced by electrolysis. Therefore, option C is the correct option for this question. Question 23. A household cleaning compound is used to remove calcium carbonate from bathroom surfaces. The compound reacts with calcium carbonate to form a soluble salt, carbon dioxide, and water. So this should be an acid. What is the pH of this cleaning compound? So an acid should have a pH less than 7. So we have got pH 2, which is an acid. pH 7 is a neutral pH. pH 10 is a weak basic pH. And pH 14 is a strong basic pH. So the only pH that is acidic out of the given options is pH 2, making option A the correct option for this question. Question 24. Dilute hydrochloric acid is added separately to samples of copper, copper 2 oxide, and copper 2 carbonate. Which row correctly shows whether copper 2 chloride is produced? So, copper reacting with HCl does not happen because copper is less reactive than hydrogen. Copper oxide reacts with HCl producing copper chloride and water, and copper carbonate CuCO3 reacts with HCl producing copper chloride, releasing CO2 gas and also producing water. So only copper will not react while the other two will react. So out of the given options, copper is not reacting in options B and D. This eliminates option A and C. For copper oxide, both show that it is reacting with HCl, and for copper carbonate, B shows it is not reacting and D shows it is reacting, making D the correct option for this question. Question 25. Which ions are present when hydrochloric acid has exactly neutralized aqueous sodium hydroxide? So HCl plus NaOH produces NaCl plus H2O. So for NaCl, we would have Na positive and Cl negative ions. And from H2O, we would have H positive and OH negative ions. So option A has all four present, so it is correct. Option B has OH negative ion missing. Option C has H positive and OH negative ions missing. And option D has Na positive and Cl negative ions missing, making option A the correct option for this question. Question 26. Which experiment will result in the formation of a white precipitate? Aqueous barium nitrate added to aqueous sodium chloride. We will have no precipitate observed. Aqueous sodium carbonate added to aqueous calcium chloride. We will have a white precipitate of calcium carbonate produced. Carbon dioxide passed through aqueous potassium chloride. We will not see any precipitation taking place. Dilute hydrochloric acid added to aqueous ammonia. We will have no precipitation taking place. So the only option with precipitate forming is option B, making B the correct option for this question. Question 27. Which statement about both the group 1 and group 7 element is correct? They conduct electricity when molten. Group 1 is a metal, it will. Group 7 is a non-metal, it will not. They form covalent compounds when bonded to non-metals. Group 7 will form covalent bonds. Group 1 is a metal, they will not form covalent bonds. They exist as diatomic molecules. Group 1 do not exist as diatomic molecules. Group 7 are all diatomic molecules. When group 1 elements combine with group 7 elements, ionic compounds form. Yes, example would be NaCl, Ki. The metal is from group 1 and the halogen is from group 7. So this statement is correct. Therefore, option D is the correct option for this question. Question 28. The element helium, argon, and neon are noble gases. Which statement is correct? All these elements have 8 electrons in their outer shell. Argon and neon do have 8 electrons in their outer shell. Helium only has one shell present, so it will have 2 electrons in its outermost shell. So this statement becomes incorrect. Argon is used to react with impurities in the manufacture of steel. Argon does not react, it is a noble gas. Helium is used in balloons as it is more dense than air. It is used in balloons, but because it is less dense than air, not more dense. Neon is used in light bulbs to give an inert atmosphere. Yes, light bulbs are filled with a noble gas. So neon is one of the gases that is used for such a purpose. So option D is the correct option for this question. Question 29. Which row shows the correct catalyst for each industrial process? Manufacture of sulfuric acid involves the presence of vanadium 5 oxide. So options A and B have been eliminated. Manufacture of ammonia involves iron. Option D has been eliminated. and manufacture of margarine involves nickel. Therefore, option C is the correct option for this question. Question 30. In the solid state, germanium has the same structure as diamond. What is likely melting point of germanium? Very high. So above 800, between 100 and 800, 100 and below 800. The highest available temperature out of these four options is above 800, making option A the correct option for this question.